Greetings and welcome here to Moment to Moment. Hey, moment to moment. What's going on with us spiritually? What's going on with us materially? What's going on psychologically, mentally? How do we integrate everything moment to moment? So, the name of our channel, as you know by now, is Moment to Moment. And today I want to just introduce you to the channel as best I can. Now, that's kind of hard for me because there's been a lot going on about what this channel is going to be about. And I, for one, I'm the main one that's being confused. And I say that I've been confused because different spirit guides, the different ones are telling me different things. And so it's like you have to settle down and center yourself and get the message that's coming from each and every one who expects to be included here, and then how to channel that, how to channel the spirit's information into this moment to moment channel. So that's more or less what we're going to be doing. And before that, I'm just going to give a really brief description. We can call this an about me type thing. Also, a challenge. Hey, I mean, who wants to sit and talk about me? But if you've never seen me before and you don't know me, I mean, you deserve to know a little bit about me. So, when I think about that, the first thing that comes to me is, hey, I was born, I'm going to die, and there's some things happening in between. And after I die, I'm going to go to the other side in the spirit world, and who knows, I may rest a while, or I may talk to the Supreme Being, however, or whoever you deem the Supreme Being to be, and get ready for another experience, being a spiritual being, having a human experience the way that I am now. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I get back over there. But I think it has a lot to do with what I can finish with here. And this moment to moment channel is definitely something I know I'm supposed to be doing here. So, how do I know that? One way is on account of my soul plan reading. Now, you might want to know, what is the soul plan reading? Well, we'll be happy to tell you all about that, and even, convey or conduct soul plan reading for you, for your family, for couples, however the situation may present itself. Because here at Ubaba Mkulu Sanctuary, in Ubaba Mkulu Sacred Space, which is where we are, every client that comes, we start with a soul plan reading. Now, as a diviner, I read with different types of modality. It could be tarot cards, could be bones and shells, it could be with OB divination, and I think I might have spoken about some of these on the Instagram handle. So, but long story short, uh, from my first reading that I had back in, I think that would have been maybe 1982 or 3 or something like that, when I was really going through some things. And in that reading, the first thing they said was, you are born diviner. And I'm like, what's a diviner, first of all? So, I mean, I've heard of it, but I mean, I really just didn't understand all that. And as you can tell from the so-called accent, I was born in the U.S. People ask me, where you from? Well, I'm from Africa. We all from Africa. And I'm coming to you now from South Africa. So anyway, that's what I was told. And, I think that's just where the journey took another turn for me. I came out in that reading that if I had been raised up in Yoruba land, which is the source for the Lukumi tradition, the Ifa tradition, if I had been born there and lived in an indigenous community, then as a young child, I would have been been with the elders, and been given spiritually divining directions and information from the spirit world for people 2, 3 times, 4 times my age. So, that, thinking of that, and, being in wherever I was, in Cincinnati, Ohio at the time, And, I have to admit it sounded a bit strange because, I just was not acclimated to that whole structure of the Lukumi tradition, the Yoruba tradition, or the other indigenous traditions that exist in the world. I mean, from a kid, yeah, I heard these voices and everything, and had all these imaginary friends and stuff, but I thought everybody did. And I used to line my doll babies up, in the kitchen, in the chairs, and read the Bible to them. Oh my gosh, hey, you know what that means. Um, and okay, that's just the ancestors' way of saying amen or speak truth, that kind of thing. So that may be happening. I'm not gonna try to conceal it because it's just what the ancestors do. Babam Kulu and my ancestors is working close for me here. So yeah, I'd line all them up, and we'd have all these meetings, but mainly I would be speaking to them. Like I said, reading the Bible. I used to make up church songs and sing to them, but they were singing with me, and they were singing back to me. And when I was talking to them, they was talking back to me. So it was just like a normal world for me to be in these conversations with my doll babies, not really realizing that that was me communicating with my spirits, and they were actually acclimating me even at that time. So and my mother, fortunately, she understood the concept of mediumship, and she herself was a medium, even though she didn't like formally practice. But when people would come over, and they was like, "Hey, I don't even want to go over your house because I don't know what your mother going to tell me," So and as I got older, she didn't do that much when I was like a little kid, but as I was like 18, 19, 20, into that age frame, she made her psychic abilities much more clear. And I guess that was also because she was trying to keep up with me because, hey, that was a challenge. So, yeah, it took a while, and then as I went along, I was very active in the church, but unfortunately, the church couldn't answer my questions. They wouldn't tell me about what color is Jesus. They're telling me this color doesn't matter, which that didn't make any sense to me. And then I was asking him about didn't he have any brothers and sisters, and what's all this whole virgin birth. But they got really tired of that at that church. And what they used to do with me is like they used to put me in charge of my peers or younger kids. And so then I would be the one, like teaching the vacation Bible school, teaching the Sunday school, teaching the ones that was younger than me, reading the Bible, interpreting the Bible. However I was interpreting the Bible, I was just saying whatever I thought. But when I was 6 years old, I left the Methodist church. I joined the Baptist church because I just felt drawn to what was happening at the Baptist church, and I felt the need to be baptized in the Baptist church, so I did. So I was 6 years old. People used to pick me up and take me to church with them because our house was like right in between the two churches. One church if you go this way, another church if you go that way. And an adult would pick me up, take me there, and bring me back after church because the Methodists usually got out before the Baptists got out. And then the other thing was, I was speaking in tongues at the church, like after I had gotten baptized and everything, and yeah, and having all these, Holy Ghost, getting the Holy Ghost as they call it. And but then, even then, that was my spirits acclimating me to the divine world, to becoming a diviner, to understanding the prospects of divination, to become acclimated to the spirit world. But I was always having a hard time getting my questions answered. So even when I went to college, I was having these, spiritual experiences. I had them in high school, but it was unclear to me what was really happening, and I just thank God, I feel like my parents understood something was happening, and they tried to, create a zone, where I could grow. And I have several brothers that are ministers, and I used to spend a lot of time with one of them. That my parents wanted me to spend time with him, and I went to church with him and everything. And in fact, he arranged this for me to speak at this youth group. Hi, it was like a youth day or something like that. And you know what I talked about? I talked about the omniscient, the omnipresent, the omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipresent. Hey, I always do that. Mojuba Loro, Mojuba Lofi, Mojuba Lodamari. That's the easiest way for me to do it. Meaning, I'm talking about the Supreme Being who is all knowing, forever present, and all powerful. Okay, that's the talk I gave. I think I might have been like 16 or 17. Now, I had no idea about the Yoruba tradition, no idea about Olodumare, Mojuba Loro, Mojuba Lofi, Mojuba Lodumare. I knew nothing about that. But my spirit guides knew about it, And that was them coming out back then. I mean, wow, this is the way our spirit guides work is just inexplicable, incomprehensible. But they have a way of doing their things and making their things known. So, as time went on, and, after law school, by the way, it was the ancestors' idea, my spirit guide's idea to go to law school. I tried to avoid going to law school for as long as I could. And, I was accepted and I didn't go. And then it happened again the next year. And they got my oldest sister involved. She's the one who picked up the call when the law school called me, asked me, okay, they're not going to keep accepting me. Do I want to come this year now? And, my sister was like, yeah, she's coming, without saying anything to me. Because, like my sister was, like my mother, 22 years older, in her mind anyway. God bless you. I know you're hearing me. So, so then when I got home, because I was staying with her in Los Angeles at the time, and she told me about it, and she was like, well, why are you not going? And so, I was like, because I don't have the money. Now, I was working, but I just wasn't saving the money, And then she was like, how much money do you have? So we went through that whole thing. Then I was like, I don't have no suitcases. And so then, and I said it like that. She hated it when I talk like that broken English. I ain't got none. We didn't do that. The talking of the double negative, God, that used to really rile her up. You've been to all these different schools and you're not speaking proper English. And I'm like, and so what? I don't have to if I don't feel like it. So then she said, no, but you're going to slip up in court one day. Or you're going to be giving a speech. And then, hey, chill. Okay? So anyway, she went through the house, pulling out all these suitcases. And she's like, and her husband too, my brother-in-law. Hey, now you got suitcases. Now you got suitcases. Now what's the reason? And so we kept going through this thing. And it's like I had no reason for not going. So then the other part was that I got quiet, which is what I even still do for decision making even until today. And we're going to talk about that as time goes on. It's really useful to get yourself quiet and then listen to your body respond to you when you're trying to make a decision. Like, this is the question. You have a question about XYZ. And so you say to yourself, yeah, I think XYZ is the best thing for me to do. Then you get real quiet. You see, is your body reacting to this? And then you let that go. And then you say, okay, I think XYZ, I won't. I think XYZ is not a good idea. What is your body's reaction? Because our bodies in the Vipassana way of thinking, we call these things, we want to be careful not to create more sankharas, because these sankharas are things that put your body into turmoil or put your body into stress, because you're not living a peaceful, aligned life, aligned with your spirit guides, aligned with your soul plan. You're out of sync. And when you're out of sync like that, you're reacting to things all the time. You're not channeling your mind, setting aside your mind, and make sure that you are in touch with the part of you that is divine, connected to the Supreme Being. So yeah, I didn't know all that back then, but I was doing that. And then every time I did it, I got that electrical current. So now I thought everybody got that. It's a true electrical current. It's like it makes your body go like this. And they used to give me that when it was a yes. And then if it was a no, it would be flat. So, I got myself quiet, I asked the question about the law school, and then they start doing my body, all that. And so then I said, okay, fine, I give in. Everybody wants me to go to law school, I'll go to law school. Then I was like, yeah, I went on through law school, and then after law school, I was like, okay, I went to law school, I don't have to practice law now. Hey, that ego, man, listen to my ego. I went to law school, y'all wanted me to go to law school, but now I don't have to practice law. So what did I do? Hey, I started giving seminars on holistic health, unity of the mind, body, soul, and spirit. What did I do? I started selling herbs, natural herbs, nature sunshines. I went in with some friends who were already in the business. And what did I do? Start on holistic healing, iridology, reflexology. Hey, I was enjoying myself. My family, my blood family was not, I say my siblings, registered their dislike for that. Some of them, not all of them. Some are more vocal than others. You know how that goes. But definitely the two older ones were not happy with that. Because how could I go to law school and then here I come talking about something about holistic health? And then it was kind of like, okay, why don't I just now, go get in a law firm and be a partner and do the billable hours or get a good government job and this and this and this and that. Well, none of that wasn't happening because I wasn't feeling that. I did do some applications or what do you call those things, resumes. And, I did put the feelers out, but it wasn't nothing happening and I wasn't feeling it. Now, that's the whole thing about clairsentience. And we're also going to talk about that sometime, where you can feel things. And it's okay to feel things. Because in this day and age, people would make you feel like it's not okay to feel things. It's very much okay to feel things. But like I said, we'll come back to that on another video. So now what's happening, I'm doing that for a while. Time goes on. I was also doing professional training and things of that nature. And then I meet up with some group of women. Well, actually, it was only 3 of us at the time, and we had meditation sessions. And then that really helped us a lot because when we meditated together, it helped each of us go out there and establish our path that we're still on to today, and we're still close to each other even until today. So one of the women in that group happened to take me to a place where, they had set up a co-op, a vegetable co-op. So I went there. This was after our meditation session, and I was like, hey, let's see what this is all about. So I went there, and they were asking, maybe we want to join the co-op, and long story short, the person who was operating the co-op was a priest, a Yoruba priest, which I didn't even know what that was, and he said that they were having some kind of sessions. And he invited us to come to the sessions. So, he felt good. His energy felt good. So, I said, hi, okay. Yeah, it's cool. I'll come. And so then I went around inviting other people. I'm laughing now because I only found out, after the fact that you don't go around inviting other people to somebody else's sessions because the priest who was inviting me, his spirit guides were telling him to invite me. His spirit guides weren't telling him to invite those other people. And who did I think I was? That now I'm inviting these other people. Well, fortunately, at that time, the other people didn't show up. Because I felt bad about overstretching, although I've been known for that. So, go to this session. And long story short, this was, another step toward mediumship development and coming to know the Orisha. And decades later, being initiated into the Lukumi tradition. So I did eventually practice law, by the way, and it was an ancestral intervention. Actually, it was my father passing away. And when we had the repast, when they have the dinner after the person passes away, and, I'm there, and a couple of people told me, your father always wanted you to practice law. And I'm like, what? This is news to me. My daddy never told me anything like that. But my parents were never like that, they never, at least to me, I don't know how my siblings feel, everybody's different, even if you grew up in the same house. But they never tried to make me go into any profession or even go to any school or to do anything that was against my will. And I appreciate that because, they have this high school, where, they want you to go, if you pass a test to go to this high school. And, I passed the test to go to the high school, but then I didn't want to go to the high school, and because my friends weren't going there. So I wanted to be with my friends. So, my parents said, okay. So, hey, God bless them. Anyway, moving on. Uh, I did go into the practice of law after my father passed away. I decided to sit for the bar examination in New Jersey. And at that point, I was getting a little bored with the nonprofit world, like that I was working in. So, hey, I opened a practice and practiced for close to 20 years in New Jersey. And in moving to New Jersey, it got me closer to Brooklyn. And then, of course, in Brooklyn and Queens, and it's very much of a Cuban, Puerto Rican community, very much into the Lucami tradition, and got a lot of schooling, and that was quite the university. Spending the time in Brooklyn in homeschooling, shall we call it? And I'm very grateful for everyone who participated in that. So eventually, though, as the law practice went on, and by the way, I did get initiated into the Yoruba tradition in 1995. So I'm a priestess of Obatala, or Shun is my mother. So, eventually, with the law practice, I decided to phase it out. But actually, even when I was in college and we had to do a 30-year plan and I was 20 years old, one of the things in there was that, I wanted to move to the African continent and that I wanted to be involved in community development, and also I wanted to study international relations and be involved in that kind of, international politics and all that kind of stuff. So, again, the spirit guide comes in, at this point, I was 20 years old when I did that. This is a 30-year plan, and I'm in my 40s. So my spirit guides, they stepped up and say, hey, what happened to the 30-year plan? So, that's what let me know that I needed to start looking into what were going to be the other phases of my life beyond the law practice. And then that's when I decided to work on a doctorate, a PhD in global affairs. I finished that in, I think I was 2010. And then it was like, okay, what am I going to do next? Still waiting to hear from the spirit guides. But in 2009, I came to South Africa as part of my doctoral dissertation or doctoral thesis, depending on where you are, determines what you call it. I was, I came here to South Africa to work on that. And wow. All I can say is when I got here, okay, I enjoyed getting here. And yeah, I did feel something when I hit the ground. And I went to Cape Town, which was my main base. And I was there for about 2 months, and then I had to go to Joburg for a week to do some interviews. And then I had to come to Durban for about a week to do some interviews. I went to Joburg, I got sick because I just physically sick because of the stark contrast of the affluence and poverty just got next to me. I mean, we have it in the States, but to just see it up and down the street from each other, it was just too much. So then when I got to Durban, hey. As soon as I got off that airplane, something said to me, "You home now." And I'm like, what? I'm home now. I don't even know this place. I don't know anybody here. That's me. That's my ego. Always arguing with my spirit guide. And I'm still working on getting over that. So then what kind of, brought me back to reality was there was a guy holding a sign with my name, because I had booked everything on eBay. Where I was going to stay in all the places where I stayed in Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town. So then I walked up to him, and I said, hey, that's me, And so then God bless him, because he was a bit flushed, but he caught himself. Because he happened to be a white person. As you can see, I'm a black person, and race matters, for whatever reason. And he just wasn't expecting me to be African American, and I'm sure he was expecting me to be white. Most people do when even when I'm communicating in emails or whatever, until they see me. So, even it's been that way, even in the job market, they don't know your race, and then you show up and things change, and often not for the better. So, but he got himself together, God bless him. And, so I stayed there on the bluff, and in staying on the bluff, whoa, 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 whoa. That place did something to me, man, I'm telling you. It's like being in that guest house, and then you look to one side and it's the lights of Durban, and you look at the other side and it's the ocean, and it's like, I could live here. And so then eventually, I'm checking out the universities, because I just want to meet people, but I'm also trying to get myself out there, because I'm also looking for JOB. So, I'm going out, and I noticed the UK's at in. So I got the guy whose bed and breakfast I was at, he took me, got somebody to drive me over there. And I was trying to get an appointment with the head of the Department of Public Administration. It didn't work out. So I just rocked up. And, the director wasn't there, but there was somebody else there. And I met with him. And it was really great. And, then I took a walk around the campus. And I was walking through what I didn't know there was M Block. And I was walking down this corridor. And I was like, hey, I could work here. And I ended up working there. And when I was saying that I could work here, I was right outside the office where I ended up working. This is the way the spirit guides work. And they're available. Your spirit guides are available to you. They're available to you. And it's for anybody and everybody. It cuts across race, gender, class, any social construction. Because in the spirit world, that's a place where they really don't do color. We're the ones with the color problem. We're the ones with the class problem. We're the ones with the gender issue, because we as humans make these things up. So now we're going to cover all that stuff in other times, but the point that I'm trying to make now is the whole intent and purpose of this session was just to tell you a little bit about me. I know I might have went off here, veered off there, but now you can imagine what I went through in pulling this together, because there's a divine collective working with me, my spirit guides. And different ones are about different things. And different ones need a different space, which is why they got this place where we are now at Ubaba Mkhulu Sacred Space, or Ubaba Mkhulu Sanctuary, so that everybody can be where they need to be for divination purposes, so that people can come for healing and go inside themselves in an introspective way. Retrospective is necessary, perspective is necessary, but more so in the here and now, the moment to moment. And that's what we'll be doing here on this channel, It's all about moment to moment. Now, I just want to remind you, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, the Moment to Moment channel. Also, remember to hit like. Also, the notification button, so that anytime we come up with a new video with whatever spirits are, going to be talking that day, just hit that navigation button, and know that we're here for you, and we look forward to working with you. Take care, moment to moment.